Hey guys, Level Cap here and welcome to This Week in Gaming, your weekly news recap on everything going on in the world of video games. And this week, Battlefield 6 leaks gave us a look at some highly anticipated content. No Man's Sky's latest update caused the game's popularity to skyrocket. Helldivers 2 is facing some fairly serious internal issues and much more. Battlefield 6 leaks are back on the menu following the game's open beta, and this week we got a fresh look at Firestorm 2.0 and the large-scale Mirrock Valley map. Obviously, we can't show the leaks due to copyright issues, but they're all over the game's subreddit. Starting with Firestorm 2.0 leaks, it looks like the mode is still rough around the edges with lots of missing assets. However, the destruction looks top-notch with entire buildings getting dismantled in a similar fashion to the destruction we experienced in the beta. Destroyed walls and floors can create piles of rubble, giving players alternative pathways through buildings. The fidelity is also quite high, with chunks of buildings falling apart based on the specific damage inflicted. And while Battle Royale might not be what every Battlefield player is looking forward to, the original Firestorm's destruction mechanics solved a lot of pacing and camping issues inherent to the last man standing experience. Hopefully Firestorm 2.0 delivers the goods. The Mirrock Valley leaked gameplay is also promising. A common complaint amongst the beta players was the lack of proper large-scale maps. Mirrock Valley is set to be the game's biggest map, and the leaked gameplay shows a very wide and open layout with massive fields for vehicle battles, trench networks for infantry players, and an overall gritty look. Officially, DICE also revealed more info about the Assault Ladder gadget. It'll offer two modes: ladder mode that lets players climb up and down, and ramp mode that spans gaps letting players cross. It'll be interesting to see if the developers can stay on top of this gadget, since out-of-bounds map exploits were rampant during the beta. Hopefully they'll have those exploits patched up for the time of launch, because the Assault Ladder could easily make that situation worse. The latest update for No Man's Sky has pushed its concurrent player count to its highest point since the game launched in 2016. Last week's Voyagers update added a slew of major content to the game, including a fully custom ship builder, ship interiors, EVA gameplay, and much more. Since that update launched, the game has peaked at nearly 100,000 concurrent players on Steam alone. Those players are building some wildly creative ships, including this one that looks absolutely indestructible. And while it seems to be getting pretty usual to talk about yet another great No Man's Sky update, it's still remarkable seeing a game have such longevity and rebounding so successfully after its notoriously rough launch. Helldivers 2 has been a massive hit on Xbox, with nearly 1 million units sold since its launch on Xbox Series consoles less than a week ago. The game has been a PlayStation and PC exclusive title since launch, but released on Xbox on the 26th of last month. The launch coincided with a major update that added Halo ODST themed content and a new challenge mission set in underground caves. Unfortunately, the update also came with a little bit of jank. Performance issues are being reported across the board to an extent that the CEO of the game's studio recently admitted the technical debt they're facing with the game is crippling. They don't want to pause content updates to focus purely on technical issues or performance, but promise that they're working hard to resolve the game's underlying problems. It seems like with the Xbox version release, the devs will have more time to focus on deeper issues. Hollow Knight Silksong might be one of the biggest indie game releases of all time. Hours after launching on Steam, the game racked up over 500,000 concurrent players, with an even higher peak 48 hours later. Anticipation for the Metroidvania platformer couldn't have been higher. It's a sequel to 2016's Hollow Knight, which peaked on Steam at roughly 73,000 concurrent players. The devs remained relatively quiet about the sequel and hadn't even announced a firm release date until a few weeks before launch. World of Tanks got an absolutely massive 2.0 update that reworked the game's UI, rebalanced 350 vehicles, and entirely remade the audio system. It's kind of insane how massive this game has gotten since it launched 15 years ago. And despite some controversial free-to-play monetization issues over the years, it's persisted as one of the most popular vehicle combat games ever. The 2.0 update is focused on modernizing the game to make it more accessible to new players, but only time will tell how the update fares with the existing player base. A 30-minute deep dive of the upcoming James Bond game 007 First Light dropped this week, showcasing extensive gameplay scenarios. The game features a star-studded cast filled out with iconic roles from the franchise, but the game's stellar cinematic presentation is second to the gameplay that press reviews are praising almost across the board. The game is the latest from Hitman franchise developer IO Interactive, and it's clear their stealth action roots are a great fit for Bond. First Light leans more into the action side, but press say that it's a welcome change that fits the game's inspiration. 007 First Light is scheduled to launch on March 27, 2026. Open-world racing game The Crew is coming back online after fans of the game announced a community-made server emulation project launching on the 15th. The Crew Unlimited will restore server functionality, which should let players launch the game and play with each other once again. Ubisoft officially shut the game's servers down last year. Since the game is online only, the shutdown made the game completely unplayable since it didn't offer any offline single-player mode whatsoever. The shutdown is part of what prompted the Stop Killing Games initiative, and it'll be interesting to see what reviving this game's servers actually does to that whole movement. Roblox is facing mounting pressure from players, parents, and legislators around the world to further moderate their platform. The company has been the focus of intense scrutiny lately after banning the YouTuber Schlepp, who had conducted investigations on the platform that led to the arrest of multiple child predators. Now Roblox says that they're complying with recent UK age verification legislation and will be requiring all users to scan their faces to access the platform. There's little hope this will actually result in better safety standards on Roblox. However, there are several legal cases piling up at the company's front door over these issues. Online safety and security is going to be a tough issue to solve regardless of the outcome. In our final story this week, rumors about the upcoming RTX 50 series Super GPUs continued. Now it sounds like Nvidia is planning on halting manufacturing of existing RTX 5080 and 5070 Ti GPUs entirely so they can replace them with Super variants that will likely offer 50% VRAM increase while selling for the MSRP of the cards they're replacing. Past rumors suggested Nvidia and their partners were lowering pricing back down to the MSRP levels due to the lack of sales. And that rumor seems to be holding water, as select 50 series GPUs like the 5080 are back in stock at MSRP across online and physical stores. And that wraps it up for This Week in Gaming. If you want one extra news story that's a bit more in-depth, check out my overview of Metal Eden. This game launched this week, and it's kind of like Doom meets Cyberpunk, which is actually a pretty fun hybrid. I think the video is definitely worth a watch. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.